Allahu Akbar, 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 Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Akbar, Ahad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Akbar, Ahad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahad, Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Yes, my mothers, my great mothers, my great mothers, the mothers of the human race. Yes, today I've come back again to look so that we can continue looking at the health and the holy verses of the Holy Quran, or the holy ayahs of the Holy Quran, and with that proof, we're going to look at health, your health as mothers, your health as mothers that were honored by Allah. And in that, Allah says, I did honor a female creation in great details in the interpretations of beauty, of lives of human beings, as well as in the interpretations of your dignities of living human beings, and also in the interpretation. I did honor a mother or a female creation in the interpretations of your integrities, beauty, and dignities. In that, I did as an interpreter, I did present my mother, the one who drafted the great beauty of the Magna Carta. Yes, the Magna Carta. It was kind of explained, but not well explained, in very great detail to those men and women of modern times. Because since the Magna Carta was drafted as a foundation stone for the United Nations, very few men and women did really understand what the Magna Carta, or what the UN and its obligation and all members of the UN and their obligation to interpret the practical and a celestial obligation which is required of every living human being to adhere and obey the holy divine laws, or the holy divine laws, holy divine directives, holy divine prescriptions that governs men and women in their societies. Today, I'll begin by presenting someone who I believe who at one given time stood and addressed the United Nations Assembly. And now come as, I think his name was Silvio Berlusconi. I'll recite or I'll remind men that it is, whenever we say Allahu Akbar, is to remind you that indeed Allah is the most holy glorified Almighty Allah. And also is to remind you that at one given time as living human beings, you sat under a honored living female of creation, her womb. You sat under her, in her womb, and you sat under her heart. All those who are honest, all those interprets the honors of the most holy, beautiful religion, and the most holy, beautiful religion. Life is a religion, and that most holy, beautiful religion is Islam. So with that, I say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Yes, human beings, my mothers, I'll send a special assalam to the mother and who really breastfed this boy that I mentioned, that Silvio Berlusconi was a prime minister who grew up and became a prime minister of a country known as, I think, Italy. Italy is a nation found in Europe, and that's where the Vatican, or the Vatican of the whatever, it's called Vatican, if I'm not taken, or Rome, Vatican, something like that. In this interpretation, I did show you that Berlusconi was a prime minister, very, very rich man. He was given some kind of way that Allah put some of his children or his interpretations in practical living proof and evidence among men, that they may do, remember, and recall and respect the laws, the holy divine laws, the holy divine prescriptions and directives that governs human bodies as well as human societies, as well as all other living human beings are required by holy divine laws, those prescriptions and directives that you men and women dispense tranquility, first tranquility and peace, and to your own integrities, personal integrities, as well as to those in your societies. In that, there's a medical interpretation which says you have to adhere to the laws, a law that prohibits men engaging in alcohol consumption, or that's a direct law in the holy verses of the holy, or all the ayahs of the Holy Quran. And also is a law which prohibits men and women engaging in adultery. That's also a very wide subject. Okay, I'm going to go back to UN when I did bring Berlusconi, and this very interpretation of the ayahs of the Holy Quran is to remind my European children, my beautiful European children and mothers, and especially I would like to say a happy birthday to any of the surviving Berlusconi children or brothers or sisters, or even the mother of Berlusconi. My great beautiful mothers, friends and people of Berlusconi, I say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. My people, I did say that Berlusconi, in one or at any given time, or Silvio Berlusconi must have addressed the United Nations Assembly in New York or in Geneva, or wherever he was required to go and address matters concerning integrities and dignities and beauty to life. Others have said that they send my beautiful Assalam Akbar to all Berlusconi surviving relatives and all the people of Rome and Vatican. However, this very, very interpretation of the ayahs of the Holy Quran is to remind you that there is only one true religion. The religion that constructs every muscle tissue on a human face, in every organ of a human body, and with that, and that very true, most holy, beautiful religion is Islam. I'll repeat that. All men and women on this planet must have sat at one given time under their one whom they call their mother. That is, when they were in their mother's womb, and the religion which gave you that beauty to be able to be born as a human being is Islam, without any question. So in that Allah says, my creations, human beings, yes, I have proof and evidence in your archives, in the UN archive, or documented archives, or recorded video, profane videos, archives, and everywhere around you. In that, the reason why did they bring the Berlusconi, Silvio Berlusconi's proof and evidence that mothers, you are mothers who know and who did not know that a very, 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 very holy honor was awarded or was honored to mothers as an interpretation or as proof and evidence, and as proof and evidence of life. It's you mothers who carried your children in your womb for 9 months. I did send my beautiful salam and a beautiful whatever to the mother, great mother of Berlusconi, but Berlusconi was a child loved by Allah, loved by his parents, and he grew up to become a prime minister. He had money. He employed millions of people around the world. I did put him on the table today, or in our discussion, as proof and evidence that life is a religion. And that most holy, extraordinarily holy, beautiful religion is Islam. Is Islam without a doubt. So Berlusconi, as I said, might have addressed the United Nations Assembly, the UN Assembly, the Geneva, wherever he was called, the G7 and whatever. In that, he did present what men could not see at that time, that he was presenting proof and evidence in whatever he did, that there is only one true, beautiful religion, and that most holy, beautiful religion is Islam, in which Berlusconi, in his lifetime, he must have mentioned the word life. Life is a religion, and that most holy, beautiful religion is Islam. In that, Allah reminds that never deviate, never disobey, never dislike this very, very holy, beautiful religion. Otherwise, many of you might know that Berlusconi he may be somewhere, he's somewhere with us in our beautiful upper interpretation or the beauty of life. I refer that to the Magna Carta, men and women, in order to protect your life from being desecrated by desecrating your genetics and what have you, or laundering your genetics, keep away from what is called alcohol. Alcohol is forbidden by holy divine law. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.